Who dat to the Who Dat Nation? Welcome to the Who Dat Say podcast, your podcast for the New Orleans Saints here on the KB Radio Network. I am your fellow Who Dat and host, Kevin Reed, and we have went finally, for this Week 8 matchup in our first division game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, losing by a score of 23-3. The New Orleans Saints are now 1-7 on the season so far. Welcome everybody to the show, especially the Who Dat Nation. If you're listening to this show, I just want to send my deepest prayers and thoughts to all of you because we need strength. It is tough. I know it's tough to listen to a recap of this. I don't even know how to recap this game, but it's going to be tough to listen to a recap. It is even tougher for me because I had to sit there and watch it, take notes, and actually prepare for a show to recap. And it's hard because all I can think about, at least since the second quarter, midway through the second quarter, at that point I knew we were going to lose the game. I sat there and thought that, the Saints are going to suck for a long time. And I mean a long time. There's no remedy for this team. There's no magic potion that they can drink to cure these problems. There's not one player that they can draft that can bring a difference to this team. There's no one player they can sign in free agency that can make a difference on this team. There's no hope for this team within the next 2 years. I would say 2 to 3 years for this team. We are in such a dumpster fire of a situation. We finally got to see Tyler Shough, which a lot of people were just screaming from the mountaintops, thanking the Lord above that we finally got to see number 6 touch the field today. Look, let me tell y'all something. And I'm the biggest Spencer Rattler fan. I made it known on here. Now, did I ever feel that Spencer Rattler is the greatest quarterback of all time? No. Were there areas that Spencer Rattler needs to improve on? Absolutely. There are several. But I think that he can grow to become a good quarterback, but that's neither here nor there. Those days are over. It's over. The Spencer Rattler days are done as Tyler Shough took over in this game. And all I can think about was all of those people who've been screaming and hollering for Tyler Shough. I hope he succeeds. I'm a Saints fan. I am a diehard Saints fan. Of course I want him to succeed. Do I see pieces there that he's good? Yeah, he's good at it, a few things there. But do I see Tyler Shough being a difference maker? No. That's why I never wanted him in the game. Tyler Shough is not the problem. The quarterback position isn't the problem. Like I said, Spencer Rattler can be a good player if he had pieces around him and a coaching staff that believed in him. Tyler Shough probably could be a good quarterback if he had pieces around him and a coaching staff that was just a little, and I mean just a smidget in the know of how to coach. We don't have that here. And that's why I say for the next 2 to 3 years, the Saints are in trouble. Quarterback isn't the problem. The problem is the New Orleans Saints have no playmakers. The New Orleans Saints have nobody on offense, just sticking offensively here, that will make a difference. It used to be Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara ain't it no more. It's time to just rip that Band-Aid off and come to the realization that Alvin Kamara is not the player he used to be. And that's fine because Alvin Kamara has been in his league long enough. It comes that time. It comes a time in every man's life when you hit the wall. I'm 46 years old. I hit the wall maybe about 4 or 5 years ago when I when I tried to run. I forgot what I was doing, but I was running, and it wasn't a long run, maybe 20 yards to do something. I don't even think it was that long. I was winded, sore, and everything. That was just from a run. I knew then it was over for me. It's over. Physically, I'm done. I'm spent. I've hit the wall. Alvin Kamara has hit the wall. He doesn't have that same burst. He doesn't have that same agility. He doesn't have that same first step. And it pains me to see that because Alvin Kamara has been the one shining light on this team ever since he got here. And it's painful to see him a shell of his former self. We don't have anybody else on this team. Spencer, not Spencer, but Chris Olave is not a number one receiver. He's not even a number two, to be honest with you. I keep saying Spencer, but Chris Olave is not all that good. Now, maybe it's a result of all those concussions that he had. You know, he could be in his own head, or it could have took a toll, or he's trying to protect his body, but he is not a number one receiver and definitely not a playmaker. Rashid Shaheed, I really don't know how to point at Rashid Shaheed here because they can't find a way to get him the ball, which is mind-boggling to me. How can't Kellen Moore design something for Shaheed to get the ball? You find a way for Juwan Johnson to get the ball, well, at least throw it in his general direction because it's a 50-50 shot he's going to catch it or not. So I don't know how you can find ways to get him the ball and not Shaheed. Whatever. But here's the realization that everybody needs to come to grips with as Saints fans, as part of this Who Dat Nation. Kellen Moore is not the right head coach for this team right now. I went on record and said that he's not a good head coach. He's not a good coach. He can't lead this team, and so on and so forth. That was unfair, and I apologize for that. It's really not fair to say that. But what I will say, he's not the right coach for the team now. Maybe he can become one, is a possibility, but right now, he ain't it. He cannot lead this team. I don't want to hear this is his first go around. I don't want to hear it. And I don't want to hear it. This man has been coaching in this league for several years. He's played at the highest position at quarterback for years before that. So he knows football. He knows football. He's been a part of some very successful teams. He's orchestrated some very successful offenses. So I don't want to hear that. Now, am I saying that believing that the Saints should be 8-0 right now? No, I'm not saying that. Well, I'm saying that team should look better than this. This is hands down. I don't care about the Jets, who won today, by the way. I don't care about the Tennessee Titans. I don't care about those horrible-looking teams. The Saints are the worst team in football. They look horrible. They look horrible. Defense actually played well today. Defense played well enough to win. But you can't do anything offensively. Your bread and butter. Your calling card. You can't score. Now, for everybody that believes it was Spencer Rattler's fault, you got a sample size today. Tyler Shough got in to the game. Same thing. He threw the same balls to the same receivers. And what did they do? Drop. Not get open, can't get any yards after the catch. Offensive line still doesn't block. It looks the exact same. Nothing has changed. That's why I didn't understand the narrative of people like, oh man, put Shough in. That's the spark that the Saints need. What spark? What can he do? What can he do with this team? Drew Brees can't do nothing with this team. There is nobody that's going to walk through that door and change what this team is. This is what they are. 1-7. That's it. Heading towards 1-17. because I don't see any hope in the future for this franchise. But that's looking ahead. Let's focus on today. Let's focus on this 23-3 butt whipping that Tampa Bay Buccaneers put on the Saints. Now, the score doesn't really reflect. It really wasn't a 20-point just slacking by the Buccaneers. It's weird because the Buccaneers. I'm looking back on this game and I can't think of anything the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has done in this game to say that they dominated the Saints or they took control of this team. Or game, I should say. No, it was nothing. Nothing. They came into this game with absolutely nothing on offense. Godwin out. Mike Evans out. Bucky Irvin out. They had no offense. None. Absolutely no offensive firepower on this team. Difference is one team was well coached, the other team isn't. Now, this was an inspiring effort by the defense, but they were supposed to look good for the reasons I just pointed out. The defense was supposed to look somewhat dominant in parts of this game. You had a quarterback change, as I said before, but it wasn't enough. Saints turned the ball over 4 times today, one of which was a pick six. And that was pretty much it. That's when I knew that that the hourglass has ran dry of sand when it came to Spencer Rattler. I knew that was it for him after that. But the Bucs, it just allowed the Bucs to hold on to the South, man. Hold on to this game. They're 6-2 right now. Tyler Shough came in. He entered the game with 3 minutes, well, close to 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Saints were down 17-3 at that point. And he completed his first pass, a 6-yard pass to Taysom Hill, and boy, the dome just came alive. And that was it. Grand opening, grand closing. He threw a pick after that. It just didn't. This team is not ready for prime time, man. Swinging back to the positives of today's game, I mean, the only positive I have is the defense, who played exceptional in that first half. In that first half, Saints defense looked, they looked almost Dome Patrol-ish. They looked like they were just prepared to shut down Tampa Bay from doing anything. It had a big goal line stand. Actually, had a couple of them. Tampa Bay really had no answer. They sacked Baker Mayfield 3 times. They forced a fumble. I mean, they were coming at him. They were doing their part. Tampa just had 80 yards of offense in the first half. They locked down Tampa. But in the second half, even in the second half, they still did their job. I think they only allowed that one. No, they didn't allow no touchdowns. I think it was just field goals in the second half. Maybe 1 touchdown. I think it was 1 touchdown. I could be mistaken. But anyway, regardless, that's it. On defense, they just allow 1 touchdown. That's it. And that's what you want. That's all you can ask for from this team. That's all you can ask for from this defense, I should say. Offensively, we know that Eric McCoy, he's out for the season with that bicep injury. You had Luke Fortner start at center for the Saints. Did pretty decent, I guess you could say. Kendrick Miller, he's out for the season as well. And so you had Devin Neal, our rookie running back, get some play time. He wasn't used enough, in my opinion, which goes back to the play calling. I do not understand the play calling in this game. This is what infuriates me about Kellen Moore. This dude he's a moron. This dude does not know how to call a game. He don't know how to read the room. In one series, in the first half, you had Spencer Rattler drop back 4 straight times. Why? It was like you was setting him up to fail. It just feels like that. That's the vibe I'm getting. You were just setting this dude up to fail. And unfortunately, Spencer Rattler fell for the bait. Shadeed, it looked like he went out late in the game. I hope it ain't nothing serious, but it looks like he got hurt, But he was looking pretty decent today. He had 9 catches today. But yeah, man, it is not. It's not looking good for the Saints. I'll just put it kindly like that. Let's go through the stats. I'm not going to stay long with this because it's migraine inducing, to be honest with you, to have to sit here and talk about this team. So let's go over the stats for today's game. Beginning with passing. Let's start with passing, I guess. For the New Orleans Saints, Spencer Rattler was the leading passer today. He was 15 for 21, 136 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times today. Also, duly noted, we had Tyler Shough come in. He was 17 for 30, 128 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice today. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield was 15 for 24, 152 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he was sacked 3 times today. And that just goes to show you. Look at Baker Mayfield's stats. Do you see that as being a quarterback that led his team to a 20-point victory? No. That's the state where we at. That's where we at. Who that nation? We do not have a good team. Leading rusher for the New Orleans Saints was Alvin Kamara, 6 rushes for 21 yards. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Sean Tucker, he had 12 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver for the New Orleans Saints today was Rashid Shaheed, 9 catches for 75 yards. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was Tez Johnson, 5 catches for 43 yards. Leading their respective teams in tackles, beginning with Tampa Bay, it was Larry David with 10 tackles and Demario Davis for the Saints with 11. Team stats, you have the New Orleans Saints, who had a total of 275 yards today. Tampa had 212 total yards today. Saints had 4 turnovers to Tampa Bay's 1. Saints had 17 first downs to Tampa Bay's 14 penalties. This was another big factor that stuck it to the Saints. 8 penalties for 40 yards. Tampa only had 4 for 25 yards. Third down. This was a shock. Third downs, Saints were 50% today. They were 8 for 16 on third down. Tampa was 3 for 13. How did Tampa win by 20 points? On fourth down conversion, Saints were 50%, 2 for 4. Tampa was also 50%, 1 for 2. In the red zone, the Saints were 0 for 1 in the red zone, and that was late. That was like the last drive of the game. The Saints didn't even get to the red zone till the very end of the game. Tampa, on the other hand, they got there twice, only scored once. Time of possession, Tampa held the ball for 32 minutes and 56 seconds. Saints had the ball for 27 minutes and 4 seconds. Just a quick look at the NFC South. Tampa Bay was the only team to win in the South today. They are 6-2. Carolina, they're 4-4. Atlanta is 3-4, losing to the who did Atlanta lose to? They got squashed today. I can't even remember who they played, but they lost today. But I can't even brag and boast about that because the New Orleans Saints are 1-7 on the season. We are 5 games behind first place. It is over, ladies and gentlemen, for the New Orleans Saints. It was Miami. Yeah, it was Miami that Atlanta played today. But anyways, that is the NFC South as it stands right now. Let's go over the grades for today's matchup versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We know that every week we grade the performance of the Saints by unit: offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. Round them all up and come up with an overall game or grade, I should say, for the performance of the New Orleans Saints today. Let's begin with the offense. The offense today gets a D-. that offense looks pedestrian and just all around bad. There's no identity to this team. We're 8 weeks in, and I still don't know what the Saints do well on offense. I can tell you 30 things they do bad, but I don't know one thing the Saints offense do well. And you would think at this point, you can pretty much point at, okay, at least the Saints can run the ball. No, they can't. Well, at least the Saints can throw the ball. No, they can't. You know, they're slant passes or screen plays or deep throws or just one element. There's not one. The one thing I will give them, why is a D- and not a flat out F? Saints were moving the ball. The Saints were moving the ball. They just can't. They don't know how to finish a drive. They can't. One thing goes wrong. I've been saying this all year. One thing goes wrong, everything goes right. After that, they just cannot get it together. An illegal formation, an illegal shift, a false start, a holding, any little thing kills their entire drive. Their entire game plan goes out the window after a penalty. Now, the penalties are demoralizing, you know, and that needs to be cleaned up. But at the same time, man, just keep pushing. Not the Saints. They give up on a drive quick. One penalty kills the Saints drive. Yeah, they get a D- on defense. I mean, on offense. On defense, they get an A-. Offense. I mean, the defense was the one thing that I can walk away from this game and actually smile about because they looked really, really good. But at the same time, they were supposed to look this good because Tampa, as I mentioned earlier, don't have nobody playing in this game. They didn't have anybody. Their star running back out. Their 2 star wide receivers out. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing that Baker Mayfield had to work with. Why did you think that he ran the ball or the Tampa ran the ball 4 straight times from the 1 yard line? They didn't try not one bootleg or a quick slant or a corner throw, a power line throw, anything, because he had nothing to throw at. He had nothing out there to work with. And so they were supposed to do that. But I'm going to give them respect. I'm going to give them respect where respect is due. They did what they were supposed to do. And so I give them an A- in this game. Special teams gets a B+. I mean, Blake Grupe didn't miss a kick today. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. He didn't miss today. So I'll give him a B+. Kickoffs were pretty decent. They still need to work on their return game. They don't even know who to settle on to return kicks. This team is a joke. Coaching gets an F, flat out. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna try to justify anything they did. This is a flat out F. That they are unprepared every week, undisciplined. They don't know their assignments. Kellen Moore does not have this team ready to play week in and week out. I watched that Jets Cincinnati game. I watched it. Jets are horrible. But you know what the Jets did? They went out there and played hard. And Cincinnati is a really good team. And they gave Cincinnati everything they could handle. And that's probably their Super Bowl. They probably won't win another game this season. But they went out there for at least once and gave it their all and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't see that type of fight in this team. I don't see that anywhere out of anybody on this team who is going out there and just laying it out all out there. Nobody. And I attribute that to coaching for not having his team ready to play. Overall, in today's performance, I give the New Orleans Saints a C-. Now, I'm gonna veto this. Now, this is due to the count. This is due to the math. The math tells me with all of these grades is a C-. I'm gonna go against that. This is a D-. In my humble opinion, it's a D- for this team. It's embarrassing. This is an embarrassing performance by the New Orleans Saints. You couldn't take advantage of not one thing. You couldn't take advantage of your defense actually playing well. You couldn't take advantage of a team that's coming in 50% healthy. You couldn't take advantage of field position. You couldn't take advantage of referees actually looking out for you today, because they robbed Tampa of a touchdown. I ain't even bothered to mention that earlier. They just flat out robbed them of a touchdown with that fumble recovery. But it is what it is. It is what it is. The Saints are a joke. I don't know if I'm watching a football team or Barnum and Bailey Circus. I don't know which one I am watching, because all I see is a bunch of clowns out there. I don't know, man. I didn't think it would be worse than the Dennis Allen era. I was skeptical, man. I saw signs of it from week 1 to now. I saw signs of it every week, but I was trying to be optimistic. I was trying to be fair and balanced. Give Kellen Moore a chance to plug the hole on this sinking ship. But instead of plugging him, it's like he's banging more holes in the bow, man. It's like he wants it to sink to the bottom. I don't know what it is, man. It is embarrassing to watch this team. It's embarrassing to walk around with a Saints shirt on, with a Saints hat on, to scream "Who dat?" It's embarrassing. It's not bag over the heads embarrassing yet, but we're getting there. We're almost back. It's almost time to go to Winn-Dixie. Well, actually, Winn-Dixie about to cut rocks out of Louisiana, I read somewhere. But go to one of these grocery stores and get a paper bag, man. We're almost there, because it's not going to get any better. It is not going to get any. This was probably the easiest game you was going to play in the coming weeks. And honest to God, I know it's Tampa, but Tampa wasn't Tampa today. This was not the Tampa team that was looking like the best team in football early on this season. Them people managed to win this game with absolutely nothing on the sideline but Baker Mayfield and Anthony Harris, Nilsson, and 2 other players, maybe. That was it, man. That's all they had, and that was enough to beat the New Orleans Saints today. But that's all I'm gonna go through today. I'm not gonna harp too. I'm done. I'm so over it. I am over it. I'm not even mad. I guess I'm mad because I'm not mad. If that makes any sense. Y'all know where I'm coming from. I'm not even emotional about this. One, I knew we were gonna lose this game yesterday, so it wasn't like this was a shock. Oh man, the Saints lost. Man, I knew we were gonna lose. I just was hoping that the Saints would go out there and put up a fight. They didn't do it. Defense did. Defense is good. Defense, I have no problems with the defense. Everybody else, yeah, man, they could sit in the corner. This is bad. This is bad. And if this is the move going forward with Tyler Shough, if this is what we're doing, I wish him all the success. I hope and pray that he gets it together. I hope that he is what everybody been hoping him to be. I hope that I was wrong, because I don't think he's all that. I don't think he's I'll say this. I think Tyler Shough is a decent quarterback. He may be a decent quarterback. I think his peak will be Spencer Rattler. They're the same quarterback in my eyes. The only difference is one's a little taller than the other. The Tyler Shough is taller. Maybe got him by half a foot or something like that. But other than that, there's no difference, man. There's zero difference in these quarterbacks. And even if he was Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes clone or whatever the case may be, he doesn't. Who he's throwing it to? Who does he have to make a play for him? Nobody. But I hope, for the sake of the majority of the Who Dat Nation, that he is what they hope him to be. But that's just one man's opinion. I would like to know, what do you think? What do you think is the problem with the Saints. What's the problem? Do you think it's the quarterback? Am I looking at it wrong? Have I been looking at it wrong for 46 years? Because I've been watching football since I was a little one. I don't know, and played it a little bit. So maybe I don't know what I'm looking at or have played, because Kellen Moore is the problem. But hey, maybe it is the quarterback. Maybe this change will change the team. Is it the defense? What is it? Tell me, what is it? I would love to know. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. If you're over on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel. Share this video as well. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this recap of the Week 8 matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints, where the New Orleans Saints fall yet again by the score of 23-3. The Saints are now 1-7 on the season. Next week, the Saints will travel to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, to take on the LA Rams. Oh, Lord. Oh, it only gets better from here. But, hey, regardless, I will be back later this week to preview that game. Probably on Halloween Day. I think that's when I'll release that episode. So it will be spooky. It feels like Halloween came early. It feels like Freddy and Jason was on that field. Freddy, Jason, Mike Myers, the creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein monster. Everybody was on the field for the New Orleans Saints this Sunday versus the Bucs. But next week we will preview the Saints versus the Rams. I don't even know why I'm gonna do it. Honestly, at this point, it's habit, because there's nothing to preview. We already know what it's gonna be. But I'm gonna come. I'm gonna do my job and do the best that I can. And even with me knowing what the end result of that game is gonna be, I'm still, people. What you thought? I was gonna stop doing it? I'm still gonna be screaming to the top of my lungs, "Who dat?"